the backup quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Justin Fields, is also on the... So Fields fans going to be so mad at me. Yes, hello everybody, and welcome back to the worst team ever. Right here on the Dynasty Hotseat, the only Dynasty show out there that is a certified inferno. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, we are rebuilding an absolutely terrible team here. So if you're along for the ride, thank you so much for hopping in. Make sure you've hit that like and subscribe, because this isn't like other shows, because you, I'm talking to you right now, the guy eating the cereal, the girl drinking the coffee, whoever you are, you're going to help, okay? You're in on this action. Whatever you say goes. The audience decides what moves we make, and boy, have we got a big one today, because last week we finally had a trade offer come in for one of our biggest assets in Cooper Kupp. If you remember that from last week, yeah? We had a great deal, and immediately, I mean, the comments, it was amazing. I did ask, I said, if you're willing to comment on one thing, make it your opinion on the Cooper Kupp deal, and I was just bombarded with comments. It was sort of like a war zone. I loved it though, because everyone was just saying smash, 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 except, forgive me, I'm gonna have to reel off the names. There were a lot here. So thank you so much to all these guys. I got my very important notebook here. Thank you to John and Rex and BMU 1982 and Forsaken Guardian and David and Caliburn and Spelunk and Concam, I think I've said that right, and to Neil and to Leon, and of course to Matt and my good friend Ali Cook, the Dynasty Grill himself. You all told me to sell. Did we get the deal done? Did we get the deal done? We got it done, boys and girls. We got it done. And the timing, I mean, just a chef's kiss. The absolute chef's kiss for timing. Because we got Cooper Kupp off the books. We got in an all-important first-round pick in 2026, that seems to be where most of our assets lie at the minute. So that's pretty good. We also got an extra third-round pick, which is obviously super important. And we got, at the time, we got the Colts' backup quarterback, Gardner Minshew. He's now the named starter so far. Anyway, we'll see how the draft goes. But he's the starter at the Las Vegas Raiders right now. So that is a huge asset to get on board. I don't think we would have got this offer post-Minshew trade. So I am just so happy that we got that done. The big question now is, how do we use some of these assets like a Gardner Minshew? Because the state that we're in, I'm inclined to say, let's just sell him too. Because I know Matt had mentioned that we could sell him if Anthony Richardson goes down. Now we don't even have to wait for that. We can just sell him. So what kind of value do you think Gardner Minshew holds today? Because I want to be fluid here. I want to get people in and out, and I want to get as many draft picks as possible to rebuild this terrible, terrible team. So what do you think? What is the value you think we might be able to get on Gardner Minshew? Great work, everyone. Though we got our first trade done and pumped. So happy. The other main comment that I put up from last week was about Parker Washington. We were offered him for a late pick. I sort of said, would we be willing to spend one of our fourth-round picks on Parker Washington? RB Raven, Ali, King, Rex, and Kyle saying, no, there's no real point. We don't want these roster cloggers really on our team. Our team's bad enough. We don't really want to have to pay a fourth-round pick for Parker Washington and then have to cut him a little bit later. It is, I mean, things have changed, though. He doesn't have Calvin Ridley for competition anymore, but I still just... yeah, I don't think he's really worth it. Unless it's changed. Leave a comment if you think things have changed with Calvin Ridley leaving, but I don't know. Parker, Washington, and Christian Kirk seem to operate in close proximity to each other. And Evan Ingram as well in that same area. I just don't see where he fits into that team whenever everyone's fit and healthy. So maybe the Ridley things have changed things for you. Let me know if they have or haven't, but I'm intending to agree that we shouldn't buy Parker Washington. All right, let's see what's gone down in the league chat, and then we'll go and check through some of those messages that we've been working on since last week as well. So you can see that the trade has gone through. Now, heads up, there is a veto option on these trades, so people have to vote Everyone in the league votes to accept or decline trades. It was a full house. Everyone agreed that this was a good trade. So it got passed through. So I was delighted. You can see one down, many to go. Thanks to you guys. Let's have a look and see what else happened. So Aselmo's put a player on the trade block. That player being Geno Smith. Any interest in Geno from anybody out there, please let me know. The second one, this is an interesting one. Look at this. Justin Fields, the backup quarterback for the the backup quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Justin Fields, is also on the so Fields fans gonna be so mad at me. Also on the trade block. He's an interesting one. I mean, we don't have any 6th round picks to offer, but maybe we could offer a conditional 4th for Justin Fields because apparently that's what he's worth. Do we throw out something about Justin Fields? I reckon we might ask him what he thinks the value is. I might do that for you guys because I know there's some Justin Fields fans out there. I know Ali's watching, so he'll probably want something to do with Justin Fields. So I'll send a little message to Aselmo whenever we get through those DMs and inquire about young Justin Fields there. Maybe he'll be on our team and we'll get points for him holding Russell Wilson's jockstrap. That'd be great. All right, some DMs. Brent, who knows? Who knows where he is? Maybe time to send a little message in the chat. We did hear back about Nomads. Yeah, apparently he takes the off season off. I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, I've already sort of said in the chat as well. For me personally, that's not good enough. That's if you're going to play in a dynasty league, play the goddamn dynasty league. It's not a redraft league. You can't just disappear. That's not what dynasty is about. This is the time where you build your dynasty, you make those teams better. And for a dynasty league to work, you need everybody really contributing, and Nomad is not contributing at all. I understand people say, oh, life's busy. I get it. But if you're busy for months on end, then why are you even playing when the season is on? If you're too busy, just don't play. Just don't play. It's as simple as that, because now no one's going to be able to make deals with Nomad. Brent is disappeared as well. If he's also taking the offseason off, that's a good portion of the league. That's 1/6 of the league that is just not there for what should be the time that you're building your teams and trading picks and getting players. So let me know, do you have any thoughts? Do you guys have any thoughts on the offseason and how active people should be and what a good league should look like? Because, I get when people are busy or need to take a month away or something like that, but a full off season for me is bordering on unacceptable. Bordering on unacceptable. What do you think? So with Aselmo, I think we were talking about Parker Washington. Yeah. So we're not going to go with Parker. I think that's fair to say, although I'll wait to see if anyone thinks, with the situation change. Chase Brown, I said, I presume you have the same value on Chase Brown. He said a little bit more because of Joe Mixon and everything happening there. I think Joe Mixon has left, right? Has Joe Mixon left? Yes. Zach Moss is joined. Joe Mixon is gone. Zach Moss is in. Chase Brown's not going to really threaten Zach Moss. I don't think. I mean, maybe. What do you guys think? I said a pass message on. What do you think? Are we still in on Chase Brown? I tend to think he's going to be meh. And I know that some people like Dylan have said, just hold on to those picks. Don't be throwing them away on players like Parker Washington and maybe Chase Brown's in that same boat. I'm inclined to say we shouldn't really be throwing picks at someone like Chase Brown. We had inquired with Wanty about we have T. Higgins, if you remember. So the Higgins, Dell, perhaps we get Higgins and a little bit on top. No, we can get a little bit on top of Tank Dell to give it to T. Higgins. Wanty saying he has them pretty neck and neck. That's understandable. He said he'd actually rather go to Dell because he's linked to CJ Stroud as well. Yeah. I see that. I mean, I've seen rumors the Texans, they're looking for more. So it could end up being Tank Dell as the number 3 option there. So maybe we should steer clear a little bit, especially with Higgins. He's requested a trade, as we know. So we don't know where he's going to end up. He's a tricky one now, T. Higgins. What do we do? He got tagged. Now it looks like he's looking out. If he stays, is that a bit of a tumultuous relationship going on there? Yeah, he's interesting. There's a couple of players we'll get to what do we do with them? T. Higgins, I'm unsure. And uncertainty sometimes means people go off a player. Sometimes people like look for buy low windows. Is now really the best time to sell T. Higgins, or do we wait for a trade or confirmation he's staying? I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Next, Nathaniel had Zamir White. So he would say he wants a second round pick for Zamir White. Yeah, that seems about right to me. What do you think? Like, the thing with him is, if we're going to pay a second round pick for Zamir White, we have to be confident that we can get that plus. Because in 2026, whenever we're fully loaded and ready to go, is Zamir White going to help us win a championship? Odds on, probably not. So if you guys are happy to pay a second round pick, you got to paint a picture where Zamir White is worth more than a second at some stage post buying him for a second. He might be. He might be. Especially with Josh Jacobs leaving. Do they bring someone in the draft? The draft class isn't money for running backs. Like there's a lot of Zamir Whites out there who are pretty good. There's a lot of pretty good guys, but there's no big dog that can come in and maybe wrestle that role away from Zamir White. It's an interesting one. Buying running backs on a rebuilding team is always super interesting. It's very risky. I think it's fair value for Zamir White. I think we could get that back, that second round pick, but I mean, I'm not giving up any of ours, put it that way. I'm not sure if we have anyone else's second round pick. I'm pretty sure we don't have any. We've got one second round pick in 2024. That's a high one, and I'm not giving that for Zamir because we could get the best running back in this class at 2-1. Like, we can get a Jonathan Brooks at 2-1, which is an upgrade on Zamir White. It would need to be somebody else's second in 25 because ours is going to be high again. So I'm not giving that away. Tricky one, Zamir White. And then I also asked any players he'd want to swap. Not heard back from Nathaniel yet. So let's circle back to that, will we? All right, to send him a quick message there. And then Bills Mafia, this generated quite a lot of chat, actually. What to do with the Atlanta Falcons' brand new quarterback, Kirk Cousins, and also Daniel Jones. He's saying he could give up 111 and 2-2 for Kirk Cousins and Daniel Jones. And I said, that's quite weird because I just filmed a video asking about that option. So I got a lot of responses back from you guys, which was really, really cool. So Rex was saying we should try and get some picks for Kirk Cousins. Dylan was saying we could get that 111 and maybe an extra player like a Trey Palmer for Kirk Cousins. Kyle Flood said, yeah, get that first from Bills Mafia, that 111 for him. That would be great. The Forsaken Guardian said maybe try and shop him out to whoever owns London and Pitts. That's a good idea. I'm going to do that. And then BMU 1982 saying, keep hold of Kirky. Like, he's still got some tread left in the tires. This is a super interesting one. 111 for Kirk Cousins. I feel like I want a bit more, you know. I feel like that's super close, right? Yeah, that is super close. Let me know. That'll be the pinned comment today. Kirk Cousins, he's the next on the list. We got rid of Cooper Kupp. We smashed it. Did a great job. Next, let's look at Kirk Cousins. Is that 111 enough? That's the pinned comment. Check. Is that 111 enough for Kirk Cousins? Or do we try to get more? Now, Daniel Jones, that 202, again, is that enough for a starting quarterback? He's locked in. He's guaranteed money. Is that going to be enough? It's going to be close, but I always like to think of it as who's going to be available at a 2-2 and would I trade that for Daniel Jones? Potentially, we could have an Adonai Mitchell at 2-2. Potentially, we could have, if we're really lucky, a Troy Franklin at 2-2. There's a good chance we'll have a pretty decent running back. Trey Benson possibly going to be there at 202. We could see if we could take a risk on Michael Penix, on Bo Nix as well. Some of those quarterbacks coming in. So any of those names really stand out as someone I would trade up for Daniel Jones? Potentially. It is pretty close. So I'm going to put a comment about Daniel Jones too. Is that 202 enough? I would take that 111. If he wanted to pay that 111 for Daniel Jones, I'd snap his hand off, I think. I think that's guaranteeing us one of those good players, whereas 202, we might have just missed the boat. So what do you think? Should we try and push for that 111 for Daniel Jones, or should we just snap the hand off at 202? I'll put a comment about that as well. It won't be a pin one, but you can find it, I'm sure. So Drake London is owned by Wanty, who we can get right back to see. I'm pretty sure his quarterback room is stacked with a capital STACKE&D. But we'll check. And Kyle Pitts is owned by Nomad. See, this is what I was talking about. Now we're just like, oh, cool. Like a strategy I just can't use now because someone can't be bothered to play during the offseason. It's frustrating. It is annoying. So, yeah, it brings me back to the previous comment. Like, it is just severely limiting my options here if we have 1/6 of the league like just not playing. And now all of a sudden, right, I can't do what somebody has suggested because this guy just doesn't show up and isn't here and isn't looking after his team. I mean, God knows what the guy who was in charge of this team was doing, but I mean, I suppose Nomad's doing a better job doing nothing than whoever owned this team before us because they were, showing up with malicious intent to destroy the team. So I'll send Nomad a message. I'm just going to send him a message every single time. And whenever he finally comes back, I think we let him know. I think we got to let him know that what he's doing not cool. So I just sent Wallenty a message. Any interest in pairing London with Cousins? He'll get back to us pretty soon, I'm sure. And we messaged Nomad64, and that is the amount of years it will take him to reply. Just put in the chat. Anyone heard from Brent? It's been a little while. Not as bad as Nomad. It's been a couple of weeks, but hopefully everything's okay with good old Brent because he was chatting to us quite a bit. I also messaged Saitama back saying, offer accepted. Thank you so much. Looking forward to doing more business with you. And is there anyone else that you like the look of? Let's target these active owners that you know we're going to get back, like the Wanties, like the Saitamas, like all the other guys that we've chatted to in the league. Let's target chatting to those guys as much as we can because that just helps everything run smoother. So if you're a Buckeye, we kind of spoke to him about Greg Dulcich, right? So Schultz for Dulcich plus. Schultz has obviously signed that new deal, so his value has gone up, in my opinion anyway. He's paired with CJ Stroud. That value's looking pretty good. He says, congrats on the first trade. Thank you. That is very, very kind. I said, any initial thoughts? I wonder if we can get a second. Because Chris said, let's see if we can get a second for Dalton Schultz. And Dylan said, yeah, we should also be looking to sell him. I wonder if we can get a second and Greg Dulcich. That would be good. Let's ask the question and see if we can get that done because I feel like that would be nice if we can get that extra plus. So yeah, just message CA Buckeye, but Dad saying, what about Dulcich and a second for Schultz? Just thinking the new deal. I think that elevates him up to that. Plus, I mean, who the hell is throwing Greg Dulcich the ball next year? I think I'm fourth in line for that at the minute at the Broncos. It's really, really bad. Like they've got nobody. Nobody at all. They thought nobody was better than Russ, which is crazy. We also had a prize check on A.T. Perry. Sean M saying, just looking for picks, send something. I said I'd ask about it. No one really replied apart from Ali, who says he'd rather have Katy Perry, KT Perry, than A.T. Perry. So I don't think we're in on A.T. Perry, it sounds like, right? I'll send a message saying that. All right, yeah, just saying. The viewers are soured at A.T. I'd rather have Katy Perry. Wouldn't we all? Saitama's just got back to us right now saying he's shopping around, definitely looking for some youth. I don't know if we have any, mate. We're pretty old and pretty shitty. Do we have any youth? We're about to. We got a lot of picks. So we're about to have a lot of youth, but I don't think we have anybody really young, do we? I don't think so. Let's have a look at the team, will we? I mean, no. Kinda. No. Kinda. Doesn't really count, does it? Again, doesn't really count. No. No, he might retire. He's so old. We'll get to Darren Waller in a minute. No. We got some people in the taxi. Tucker, Spiller, Willis, Turner. I almost forgot. Oh, of course. Sex Body Butte himself. Right. No. Sorry, mate. We ain't got what you're looking for, unfortunately. We got no youth, and if we do, you probably don't want it. Sorry, mate. All right, so the final little bit here was about 3 players we're still looking to shop away for about a 3rd round pick, I think. BMU 1982 thinks we can get a 3rd round pick for Zach Ertz. King Rex, Matt, and Dylan saying that for like Sanders and Waller, just offer them out to everybody. I mean, I think Waller's deciding on his retirement soon. I think I'd mentioned it in the last video. I'm just going to send out an offer to every single person in this league. Sanders for a 3rd, Waller for a 3rd, Ertz for a 3rd, and we'll see if anybody bites. Let's do that now, will we? Okay, so I sent out Sanders for a 3rd to everybody. I don't really want to bombard trades for Waller and Ertz, so I might just message everyone saying Waller and Ertz are also available for a 3rd round pick. I'll do that now. So I message everyone. You may have noticed I didn't message Saitama. I thought it'd be a bit of a slap in the face for him to ask for youth, and then we a minute later offer a trade for Myles Sanders. That just looks a bit rubbish. So I've just sort of said, hey, this is as close to youth as I got. I'm selling Sanders, Waller, and Ertz at a 3rd round pick value if you want any of them. Maybe we'll get some bites. Maybe. That'll be good. And just finally, actually, Saitama's put a bit of a run on the trade block. Tyreek on there, Derrick Henry on there, Travis Kelce on there also. Tyreek is maybe someone that would be risky enough that we could buy because a lot of people saying he might retire, but then do we kind of buy this dip and hope that he doesn't retire? The other guys, I don't think we should be buying. So let's have a look. We can see we've got 10 trades out there. We didn't miss it. It's not 11 because, well, it's not 12 because we can't trade it to ourselves. And it's not 11 because we didn't send one to Saitama. So we send it to everybody else. So maybe we get a bite for Myles Sanders. Let me know what you guys think, though. So that brings us to the end of another episode of the worst team ever. Although we're getting better. Thank you all so much. We managed to get our first trade done. That is absolutely awesome to everyone who commented. Next step, Kirk Cousins. He's top of my list to get rid of. He's top of the get out club here. Kirk Cousins. And, of course, Daniel Jones as well. Look for those comments. What do we do with Cousins? That's the pinned comment. And then, of course, Daniel Jones as well. We have interest from Bills Mafia. Should we take those offers? Should we look for more? What do you think? So have a check out for those comments. Anything else that you're interested in or anything else you want to talk about, please leave a comment. Hey, if you want to, it'd be great if you could leave a separate comment for every kind of opinion you have. You might want to leave one comment for Cousins, one Cousins for comment, no. And then one comment for Darren Waller or one comment for these other people. It just makes things easier through the editing process. Like, guys, thank you so much. If you are new, please remember that subscribe button's there. If you're returning, remember that like is there. That bell is there as well. Thank you so much for joining. And remember, for anything Dynasty you need to know, keep it locked right here on the Certified Inferno. Hey, should we get a sign-off line for this? You guys did well, actually, didn't you? All right. Give me your best sign-off line for this. You smashed it with the mags to riches. That was like Betty Blanco, just genius. Is there a sign-off line that we could have for the worst team ever? Something that rhymes, that'll be quite good, right? Worst team ever, sign-up line. Sign-up line? No. Worst team ever, sign-off line. What could that be? Not a lot of stuff rhymes with ever. Fever, lever. Ever and lever don't rhyme. No. Worst team ever. If you want your Dynasty game to reign supreme, help me out with a shitty team. Right? You can do better than that. Right. Leave me a comment. Let me know. What should be the sign-off line? Definitely better than that. That was terrible. Right. I'm babbling. Bye. See you. Bye. Bye.